something. There's a gremlin on the side of the bus.
No problemo, Bart dude. I'll get rid of it.
No. Oh, no. I just made my last payment. Ooh.
Merry Christmas!
Christmas is canceled.
Hi, I'm Judah.
And I'm Zion.
And this is the
Amateur Film Critics. And we are back.
Yes.
With our second Christmas episode. As a part of the Untitled Christmas season.
Yes.
And we are, I would say we're going a little looser here with the idea of a Christmas movie. Although I can't listen. This isn't a movie that you like. This is a popular movie, but it's not one that I think people typically associate with Christmas a whole lot.
Ding dong, you're wrong.
If you haven't watched the film, you're not gonna think this is a Christmas movie. But if you actually seen the film, and you know there are a lot of elements that makes this a Christmas film.
So this is one of those movies, kind of like Die Hard, where I think people would debate about whether or not it's technically a Christmas movie. Yeah, even though this one probably has more to do with Christmas than Die Hard, in my opinion. Even though we've never seen Die Hard.
Yeah.
Sure, Jan.
But getting right into it, today we're talking about Gremlins.
Yes.
Zion's very excited.
My fourth favorite film of all time.
Getting right into it, I think I'll go ahead and read us a plot summary.
Okay.
A gadget salesman is looking for a special gift for his son and finds one at a store in Chinatown. The shopkeeper is reluctant to sell him the Mogwai, but sells it to him with the warning to never expose him to bright light, water, or to feed him after midnight. The shopkeeper doesn't technically sell it to him, but
it's a little...
All of this happens, and the result is a gang of gremlins that decide to tear up the town on Christmas Eve. So
Christmas Eve?
Yes. That is it. Yes, it takes place on Christmas Eve.
Yes.
The gremlin the Mogwai is technically a Christmas present, but still. So getting right into it, the first thing we have on our script are, I think, what have created some of the biggest plot holes in this movie, and those are the 3 rules of the Mogwai.
3 rules of it.
To say them again, you don't get it wet. You don't expose it to bright light. You don't feed it after midnight.
Now, the problem with the getting wet part is that the gremlins, when they actually turn into gremlins, they're constantly walking around in the snow that's on the ground. That's
a good point.
And they're constantly drinking in the scene of the film.
They're constantly drinking
beer.
Yes, but
I think those aren't. It might have to be like pure water.
Yes,
I think
it could have to be pure water, not liquid.
Not just
the snow's a little more debatable, I guess.
Well,
because it is water. It is a form of water, but it's not liquid.
Really pure water. Yeah, I can see. So that might be what they were going for.
Yeah,
I can see that.
I will also say that I think the other really big plot hole in this movie
is when after midnight is.
Yeah, when after midnight is, because technically the entire day is after midnight. So in my head, I always interpret it as like it's until sunrise.
Yeah, I could see that.
Like until dawn or whatever. That's when you're able to feed them again. But that's caused some very big plot holes in this movie.
Some
Chicken, oh my gosh. Poor.
He wants some
You want
chicken?
some I wanted Gis to have some chicken. He deserved chicken.
Wear a disguise to look like human guys, but you're not a man, you're a chicken boo.
Yes, and speaking of, I'm just gonna say, Gizmo is one of the cutest creatures in any movie of all time.
Such a good character.
Yes. Our next topic, though, is, I assume this is for you to mostly rant about.
For me to debate.
Why is this a Christmas film?
Well, it takes place on Christmas Eve for one. Gizmo is given as a Christmas present.
Mm-hmm.
It's a Wonderful Life is shown in the film.
Okay.
We are watching It's a Wonderful Life. There are constantly Christmas, decorations.
That's true.
Everywhere. The bad Mogwai hate the dog from some Christmas lights.
They do.
Mrs. Deagle comes in with this no man head that the dog broke. I know.
You are going into real details here.
And a lot of popular Christmas songs were played.
That is another good point. Yes.
Like who do you hear? My Here was played, and then what's the one?
I forgot.
Like Christmas.
Oh, yeah, I don't know what that one's
I don't know
called.
what that one's called.
But yes, that is in here.
That's awesome.
Yes, but we still have to bring up the question, Zion. Just because it takes place on Christmas, and Christmas is a part of the plot, does that technically make it a Christmas movie?
Home Alone.
That is a good
Same
example.
argument could be said for Home Alone.
That is a very
and
good
a lot of
example.
people say that is a Christmas film.
Yes.
So if Home Alone is a Christmas film, then this is a Christmas film.
You're what the French call les incompetents.
What?
Honestly, I do agree with you.
Yeah.
I'm on the side that this is a Christmas
I'm
film.
on the side. Yeah.
I not thought about the Home Alone example. That's actually a very good point to be made. Yes. And then next on our little list is the main characters, Zion.
So the main characters, we obviously have the Mogwai and the actual Gremlins.
Yes.
Those are probably the main stars of the film, but there's a couple of other human characters that are more that are mentionable.
Yeah, and before we talk about the human characters, let's talk a little bit about the Gremlins and the Mogwai. Because I gotta say, there are some really good examples of special effects and puppetry.
Oh yes, I forgot to put the special effects on.
So that's not on our topic, so I think we have to talk about that.
So, if y'all watched our Jurassic Park video, we said that the effects in that film were probably not seen that much in their time. Were very special for their time. But by modern effects standards, some of them, not all of them, but a few of them seem dated. For this film, the same could be said. They were very special for their time, but I still think the puppetry is really done very well.
Yes, I think it's done very well. I would say that maybe with these things, it's a little less than Jurassic Park because the puppetry had been around. They've been doing puppetry for a while. I'm sure Jim Henson had, I'm pretty sure Jim Henson for multiple years had been up to his stuff.
Yeah.
To his antics with, the Muppets and Sesame Street. So we've seen really good puppetry.
And Fraggle Rock.
And what? Oh, Fraggle Rock. Sorry. I've never seen that one, Zion. I know you're disappointed in me that I've never seen Fraggle Rock. puppetry had been advanced, but in overall like character design of all these characters, especially like you know, showing like emotion and charisma and like their personality in these characters. It's done very real.
Fun fact about the poetry of this film. So I know how sometimes they'll give these really close-up shots of like Gizmo's face, and you know those ones, and he shows this is really, you know, cool puppetry like emotion.
Yeah.
Well, those were actually on the mall puppet. Those were done on a.
That's smart. I like that.
On a huge.
Yeah.
I mean, his face was probably massive. I said in the documentary. And I watched. It was very interesting.
Yeah, that is really interesting. Another thing before we go on and talk about the other characters is I forget, because you brought up Jurassic Park, I forget that this is a Steven Spielberg film.
Yeah, I don't remember if it's directed by him or just... It is
directed by him.
Ding dong, you're wrong.
It's brought up in the very beginning. It's shown on the screen. When I see it, I'm always like, oh wow, I totally forgot about that, because I do not think about this. Like, people don't...
Hold up.
This is not one that they bring up when you think of Steven Spielberg a lot.
I know that he produced the film, but it's actually directed by Joe Dante.
Okay, that's interesting. Going on, let's finally talk about the human characters. So I would say the human characters are not what sticks out about this film, but I would still say they're better than most other films. So, what are your opinions on some of these characters?
Well, there's a couple of notable characters. Number one, we got to talk about Lee, who's the main human character. I would say, you know, he's okay. You know, he's kind of this. What's his personality? I'm trying to describe his personality.
He's supposed to be like kind of normal, average, while his dad's very eccentric, and he's basically just trying to live an, I would say, normal life in a way and keep his family afloat.
Yeah. Next, I think we talk about the father. The father is supposed to be this inventor whose inventions never work properly.
Yeah. They work for the first couple of weeks and then they just never work again.
Our favorite part about the father is when the father goes with this inventor's convention and it's all these great pieces of technology. A fun fact about that scene, so in one of the shots, and the far right of the background, there's this time-traveling car that's there. So in one shot, it's there, but when they cut back to that same shot,
it's gone.
That's
a nice
gone.
Detail.
That's a nice detail.
There is a love interest for the protagonist.
Yeah, there's a love interest.
She's pretty plain. She has this very weird scene.
Yes, she has this whole like monologue that's so good.
Is it though?
It's so hilariously weird.
It's so weird. It is so unnecessarily out of place.
It's hilarious though. It is pretty hilarious though.
She's just like, they've been attacked by gremlins and she's like, great, now I have 2 reasons to hate Christmas.
Well, she has brought up in the
it was hinted at
that,
but is now really the time to unveil your deep emotional problems?
Well, he asked about it. They're just trying to.
Still, she goes off on this monologue about her father dying in the chimney because he came down as Santa, but yeah, that's what happened with her. And then there's this kid who was kind of an unnecessary character, other than the fact that he doesn't
appear in the later
in the later scenes, but he's the reason the Gremlins get wet in the first place. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The actor is played by Mouth from the
Nice.
He actually played this role before that film, but Steven Spielberg liked the character.
He liked the kid so much,
that he casted him in.
Yeah. And then I would say the rest of the characters we don't really need to even go into much detail with, other than maybe the mom.
Where's the mom, who is probably like way to go?
Yes.
The mom kills most of them.
Yeah, that mom. And yeah,
I was probably
when that mom
of the
kills all three of those gremlins like that.
Action-packed.
That's so good in my opinion. And then there's also Mrs. Darty. Is that her name?
Mrs. Eagle.
Deagle, not Darty.
One of
I made her Irish.
storylines in the film is Mrs. Deagle is, I don't know, she is part of the bank. No,
I think
her
landlord.
husband was. Yeah. And so there's earlier in the film, this mom and her children comes up to her and says that she needs some extra time paying her rent.
And like every Ebenezer Scrooge character ever, she says no.
Whose lonely grave is this? Why, yours, Ebenezer.
And she's constantly threatened to murder Billy's dog.
Yes, and that's, in my opinion, the worst part of her character.
It's shown, like, very later in the film that she's also a cat
She's a cat person.
And so that's probably why.
I think she's just this grumpy, evil old lady. And And the fact that she thinks that just because his dog broke something means that she has the right to kill it, it is disgusting. And the woman deserved the very violent death that she got.
That was one of the best scenes,
most rewarding scenes out of all movie history. Because this woman is just awful.
Murder her.
Yes, yeah. But moving on from characters in a bit, what's your favorite character, Zion?
Well, the Gremlins themselves.
I was gonna say Gizmo is actually my favorite character, but you're good to go with the Gremlins. Yeah, I think they're definitely the standouts of the film. It's pretty obvious when you watch it, even though there are good characters. None of the humans can compare to these imaginative creatures.
It's so fun when there's thousands of gremlins attacking the town.
Yes,
really fun.
And especially in like the bar scene and the movie theater scene when you get to see all those gremlins.
And a fun fact about this film, the set for this film, the actual town, the town center was actually the Prosperos were used in another little film called Back to the Future.
Yes, Back to the Future. Yup.
And so the Gremlins were technically attacking the town of Hill Valley.
Wow. That's interesting,
Very interesting.
And then we also have to talk about our favorite scene, Zion. So I'll just go first. My favorite scene is when the mom kills 3 gremlins in the kitchen. I think that entire scene is really well done, and I like it a lot, actually.
My favorite scene is when all the gremlins are in the movie theater and they start watching us.
Snow White.
Snow White is apparently their favorite film. That is my favorite scene in the film.
Yes. Okay. So.
Milk Duds.
Oh my gosh, Zion. Can we just, real quick rant. Milk duds are disgusting, and that's a fact. If you like milk duds, what's wrong with you? We just had a few people click off the video right there, I can tell. But now I think it's time we get to our final ratings. So
first, put this on the jingle meter.
Yes, we have to put this on the jingle meter.
I'd say this is a good 7, maybe. What? It's not as.
I would say it's not as Christmassy as
Christmas Vacation. That's why I put it at a 7 and not an 8. Right? Maybe a 6. Maybe a 6.
How are you feeling about if I said 5?
Okay. Well.
You don't have to be at the same place on the jingle meter. We don't have to technically agree on the jingle meter.
I think like a 6 or 7. You know?
Okay.
It's not as high up there as Christmas Vacation, but
yeah.
I'd say a 6. I say.
Okay, I'm going with a 5. And by the way, if you didn't watch, again, go watch our Christmas Vacation video. But if you didn't watch it, the jingle meter is our, sort of rating system for how Christmassy a film is. And in my opinion, while Christmas does have to do a lot with this film, I think general associations and its feeling about it.
Going with the popular opinion.
I'm not going with the popular opinion. I'm going, this does not tonally feel like a Christmas film.
Okay.
And that's just my opinion. Now we have to rate it, though.
Rate it? I'd say it's a 5 out of 5.
Yo, I knew you were going to go with a 5 out of 5.
A lot of the films for this season I love a lot. There is one I'll probably give very low.
You haven't even seen it yet.
I haven't even seen it, but I do not have high hopes. I do not have high hopes.
Well, I don't have high hopes for the other movie that's going to be coming even later.
How dare you!
Oh, you guys just wait until that last movie before Christmas, because it is going to be rough.
You're gonna hate him. You're gonna hate him for
as far as my opinion on Gremlins, though, it's a really good movie, do not get me wrong. Is it a 5 out of 5 film?
The effects were really good.
The effects were really good, but does that make a film?
Remember how remember the tone of the film when the professor finds out the gremlin has escaped in the sepulchre. Remember that scene? And the scene where Billy's mom is... Oh no, I'm trying to...
You're really trying to sell this to me. I just don't think I can do it, Zion. I think it's a 4.5.
I gave Jurassic Park a 5 out of 5. Hey.
You did.
I did.
You did. And Jurassic Park totally deserved it.
Gremlins totally deserves it too.
Does it? Are you gonna be super mad at me for the rest of time if I give this a 4.5?
I don't know. I don't know.
Because I think it's a 4.5. I'm sorry.
We were like this close.
I know we were this close.
Well, why?
I just
Why? What's your?
It's a really good movie. Don't get me wrong. I do not like. I love Gremlins, okay? Zion, I promise you. I think it's a really good film. To me, there's something about it that doesn't bring it to a complete 5 out of 5 film, alright? Listen. Tonally, it's a bit of a mess, though it does even though it's up and down, alright? It merges much better than a lot of other films have, okay? But overall, around the film, there's just an aspect about it, and I'm not sure what that is, that doesn't bring it to 5 out of 5, okay?
I'm changing my mind.
You cannot. No, you cannot.
Change my mind.
No, you're not. Zion, this is blackmail.
It's 4.5.
It's Christmas. No, you cannot do that. No, Zion. Jurassic Park had big visuals, and in my
Okay.
opinion, a more compelling story.
Oh, really?
You can't just... You're not changing your mind.
Okay.
You're seriously going to be mad just because I still gave it an incredible rating.
Look, if you're gonna talk bad about another film coming up about this, that one I'm gonna talk bad. I'm not you
talking.
can have your
Listen,
opinion.
I'm not talking bad about
about
Gremlins at all. I'm just saying that it's not that perfect film for me.
Okay.
All right, it's not a perfect
Okay.
scoring film.
Okay.
Though there's gonna be some serious. There might be some
I'm gonna
serious
be
argument.
even more mad.
Maybe
We're gonna have some arguments.
there's gonna be some arguments. Not the next video, but the video after that, y'all.
We're gonna watch this film together.
I don't know if we might not though. We'll see.
They don't watch it. Okay.
We'll see. We'll see. All right, but it could be rough. I'm just warning you. In the past, when I've watched this movie, it hasn't been all that for me. Do we want to
Have
tell
to
them?
wait
No,
till the
y'all
end.
are just gonna have to wait for it.
We gotta wait till the end of the film.
Okay,
I
I
don't.
will. Maybe I'll like it more this round.
Yeah.
This
Yeah.
watch round.
Maybe.
But if I don't,
It's some very.
I'm gonna get some very
comments
hateful comments from
our grandmother.
yes, from our grandmother. But with that said, Gremlins, you should totally watch it if you have
Yes,
not watched
totally
it yet.
watch it.
Honestly, it's really good film.
It is Zion approved.
It's Zion approved for sure. It totally deserves that. It totally deserves that Zion approved. It's almost amateurly approved, just not completely there.
Not completely there.
Maybe in the future we'll revisit this film and something will change, but I honestly doubt it.
I doubt it.
But thank you for watching.
Thanks for watching.
Remember to like, subscribe, and comment a Christmas movie you guys want us to do in maybe a future Christmas season. I think we're really enjoying these Christmas films we're doing so far. It's a nice little change around.
So stay tuned for our Christmas finale special.
Yes, we have a Christmas special coming up. We're going to do some fun stuff in that. We still don't have it completely figured out, but we have some pretty good ideas, I think. So, we will see you next week
See you.
with
Goodbye.
a very obscure Christmas film.
Goodbye, everyone.
Why are we snapping?